So Kevin Willis said that if LeBron James played in the 90s, he would average 19 points a game. And I got to ask my thoughts. He told the truth. You know, listen, I got to ask this. I had a live stream. So if you ever on the Mr. Max, you ever want to check it out, feel free. I got to ask that question. I said, I'm going to tell you why. Shot clock, the physicality, the styling, the bigs back in the 90s didn't shoot a lot of three balls. You know, LeBron is comparable to Karl Malone for the size and movement. Well, Karl Malone didn't shoot a lot of three balls. He had a fadeaway and post up, and he shot outside shots, but he wasn't shooting threes. Matter of fact, Karl Malone put up a lot of big point games. Remember, he was second to Michael Jordan a few years. I remember Wilt Chamberlain in Who's Running the Asylum book used to always say that because Jordan shot those technical shots, he would beat Karl Malone by a couple points per game because it was that close because Karl was a double-double. And you know Karl Malone is now currently third all-time in scoring behind LeBron and Kareem. So Karl Malone was a prolific scorer. But the thing about it wasn't built and predicated on threes. Bigs didn't do a lot of shooting threes back then. Not like that. If you want to throw Sam Perkins, who was a specialized player, but again, it wasn't the norm. Remember, Elijah made threes, but it was kind of like a wow. Shaq made one three, and it was like a wow. You didn't see a lot of bigs shooting threes. The year when they brought the three-point line in, Jordan did it, and that's the only time he really expanded a bit on it, but it wasn't the norm. So if you deduct about 6 to 9 points of LeBron scoring for his highs of scoring, he's probably in the 19 to 24 range in the 90s, which would be great. But it wouldn't be where you are the all-time leading scorer. And you sure as heck wouldn't be past Jordan and scoring past Kobe. I don't know if he'd be past Karl Malone with scoring because if you had to hit the paint, I don't know. Would he be past Dirk Nowitzki? I don't think so. It'd be interesting where he would be. He'd have to really, because 3 points were not like that. And LeBron James, like a lot of cats in the last decade plus, owe $1 every three to Steph Curry Foundation because that's really what got expanded his career, if you must know. In the 90s, they would have put a bow on him and they would have guarded the perimeter. And since he had a weakness going to his left spot, because Jordan told that to Kobe when he blocked up the All-Star game, it would have been kind of tough for him. Guys would have crouched him and bited him. So I don't know if he would have been able, because he came into the league not being a good shooter. That's a fact. So put him back in the 90s, he probably is in the 20 to 24 range, which is still very impressive. But does that mean that you're the leading scorer all time? Does that mean that you want to? No, no, no. And I think that puts more pressure on, it's a different era. Because again, 3-point shooting, the shot clock, and the way coaches coach back then would not have loaned itself to that. It was a different era of styling. And they would have definitely doubled him up, sagged on him, got physical with him, and he would either had to been posting or how they were going about him. So it would have been it would have been handled a lot differently. But it's it's an interesting situation when I look at it. And Kevin Willis wasn't hating. It's not so before people come out and say, oh, he just hating, he's old and grudging. No. He talking about if I take the 3-point. So in the 90s, if you were green lighted to shoot the three about 5 times, let's say your coach gave you 5 shots to three, you got to make 2 of them. Couldn't be sitting up there wafing it up 8, 9, 10 times till you got hot. You would get a maximum that you could do. They wouldn't put it on you. I don't think that LeBron James had stayed on his career without putting the 3-ball becoming part of his repertoire as he got older. I don't think he's passing Kareem. I don't even think he's going to get past Kobe. I think he probably is in the 32, 33 because those threes added another 5 years to his career. They just did. And 3-point shooters, now the ironic thing about it is this. You want to talk about the irony and the funny thing? And I'm not trying to get out of what Kevin Willis is saying. Steph Curry could make or break without the threes because he could still go to the hole. He'd still be pushing 20 a night. But the three ball enables so much. But I think Kevin Willis, if we use the 90s, the shot clock era, the way teams like, imagine if you're LeBron and you got Mike Fratello and they clamping on you. And this is not even talking about Pat Riley or Chuck Daly. You know, think about the physicality and the way the Bulls with Jordan and Pippen would clog up on you. Teams would get physical with you. So where are you going to sit there and, or the Pacers will come at you? There were some teams, you know, unless, of course, you happen to have a Shaquille O'Neal and you were 3D, Dennis Scott. That's the way you get away from that. But guys back then who were shooting a lot of threes were specialists. They weren't the regulars. And that even Reggie Miller, it wasn't like that. So it was a different Adu Raul. It wasn't like the way it is now, you know. So I see where I agree with Kevin Willis. His scoring average would be down 6 to 9 points. It would definitely be down if he played in the 90s because the physicality, the totality of where they play defense wasn't as push for his offense geared, and they would have definitely crowded him. And they did have people like Bruce Bowen or others who would step on you on the 3-point line. They was guarding a three. Remember how he had problems with when he left Cleveland in 2010? Remember how Boston with their perimeter defense with Kevin Garnett, Pearson them? Now imagine that in the 90s. So yeah, you can deduct about 5 or 6 points. He would definitely have a hard time being anything really over 20 because it was that tough. Or you'd be a guy that's stat pad and then you'd be like Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Because there's a lot of them cats that averaged 20, but they were on no-name teams. So I'm just keeping it 100. But tell me what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke. I'm all the time.